Hello. I see a lot of people in this truther community who also call themselves, a force of the awakening and all these kind of things. And they are really, really hardly invested in this and trying to change the world. And they are um, a lot of different kind of, people who work in there or work for this. And some of them, it's my experience, are like trying to change the world and trying to change others, and sometimes even shaming those who are not waking up, um, those who maybe are not speaking up against what is going on. But my take is, even though I definitely believe that this what is going on in the world now is a very big invitation, to you know um, being vulnerable and being authentic and interacting with, especially if someone takes away your freedoms and these kind of things, then I think, and is manipulating one, then I think this is really an invitation to have an interaction with that and grow, um, and give oneself to that experience. I really think that this is really knocking on everyone's door right now to connect with humanity, to let go of this old police state of mind. So I think this is an invitation for a revolution in the outside and on the inside. But the point I want to make in this video is that, to me, someone who is maybe acknowledging what is going on in the world in one's own reflection and knows, okay, I need to change now, and one is letting go of addictions, one is coming out more authentic, bringing oneself and telling people something that has been bugging, let nothing be unsaid that is somehow um, has a resonance of, like Jesus says in the Gospel of Thomas, um, if you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. But if you do not bring forth what is within you, what you do not bring forth will destroy you. So people who are, knowing, okay, it's time now to change, it's time now to incorporate more love, more, authenticity in my own experience, that person is, in my sense, doing way more for the healing of the world and this, you can call it revolution, inside revolution, um, than someone who is just at war with the world now and doesn't change at all and thinks, I'm coming from a place that I can do. Maybe some people even think that, oh, I'll do that after the revolution, then I will start dealing with myself. Now I have to change my reflection, in a sense. So I believe that this is uh, a balanced walk, but someone who is just coming from a state of fear and aggression and trying to change, which is not love. I think if you bring yourself in the experience to the world all the time, even though you call someone out, or you say that this is the truth or whatever, but you can still do that by being in love in the experience. Because when you do that, when you speak up, when you release this all the time, just in the interaction with the experience, that is action in love. And then it doesn't matter if you're kissing your partner or if you are telling someone that this person is lying to you. This is just, and when we do that, this is how we heal the world. But we heal the world by healing ourselves, and the more we heal ourselves, the more we will become the piece in the puzzle that will help the world heal. But we cannot heal the world without healing ourselves. So even though I really have a lot of respect to a lot of people, in my case mainly in the Danish, call it resistance community, um, I think a lot of them are not really, even though they draw a lot of attention and maybe sometimes even doing harm, because they get people into that state of fear of only looking on out to the outside, only thinking that this out here, and by that probably even distracting oneself from whatever is taking place in one's own experience all the time, one's own life, one's own relations, and all these kind of things. And the more I was seeking into stimulation instead of feeling what is really going on in our experience. So this is for me not to tell anyone what to do, but I believe that one of the most important things in this is love, that we connect. And with this kind of divide and conquer, now are people even in between, divided over this, always that there is an enemy, always that there's someone out there who is the reason why I cannot love. This going on all the time, and now we even have this within our own experience about what is going on, even though that is the very problem. But this is, you can say it is brought to us by the system, also with the political and the sports and the race and all these kind of things, these political ideas, is, you can say in a sense it is brought to us by the system, but this is again just our own police state of mind. This has already been going on back in the days, like we say with our neighbors. People have always a problem with a neighbor. That is because we need something in our experience to project our shit onto. Because if there's someone out there who is the idiot, and we are able to point a finger at that idiot being better ourselves, then we feel the darkness is out here. This is out here, it's a problem. And this is why we always have these enemies also in sports. There's always someone out here who is. So it is in a sense insisted upon. People crave that, even though the system wouldn't do it. Then we would just hate our neighbor or someone else who is an opposite. And this is also the whole basis of racism. This is just so superficial to, if someone who is the opposite of me is the evil in the world and I am the good. So this is again for ourselves to heal these aspects in ourselves. And the more we do that, the more we will also emanate that out, and it will snowball and will, and these people in place now, they know this. And this is why they're doing all this now, to keep this down. But they cannot. But this, all these people are like Bill Gates, and why should they risk it all just for some extra power, just for some extra control? It's because they know now that with this awakening, they will be exposed as like, what? Who are you? What are you doing? What if? On what? What? How long have you all been in control? And all these kind of things. And they know that with our, level of consciousness, you can speak, that is raising, we will get conscious of what is going on, and they will be exposed. And of course we will then create a real free world with, like, in that freedom, all the technologies and all this knowledge and these kind of things will come in, and we will have a total different experience. But all these things are held back, and don't know what they have down in the under the Vatican, what kind of information and literature, they have been out there, burning libraries and all this, to keep this knowledge away from us. But they can, of course, not, because it is just a level of consciousness. And when we get up to that, then it will be, available. anywhere. This information, it is just something that is in formation. It is about to get form, turn into form. So from a lower level of consciousness, you will think that I will just, attack the form, so to speak. But it just becomes self-evident more and more. And people will just, how the world changes when our level of consciousness changes. All of a sudden, everything's possible. We're always lucky. And lucky, by the way, in Danish is hel, which means just whole, with a D at the end of it. But in the German also, the German word for luck is Glück, which is the same word as happiness. So it is just a level of consciousness, you can say. And when we get to that, then all these things will get self-evident, because we will just, be at that level of consciousness and have that level of connection, because in the end, everything is consciousness. So the higher level of consciousness we get to, the more we will be conscious about that everything is one and everything is connected and everything is consciousness. So there are still these people who operate from a lower level of consciousness, but again, they are only, you can call it, representation of this police state of mind. They try then with control to resist that, but that's a bit like nothing in a dream can hold the dreamer from waking up or from dreaming something else, so to speak. So this is just our experience of this control trying, to resist that, so to speak. And one of the things is, for example, that they want to vaccinate us, because they're making us so unnatural. And we are nature. Nature's not here. And this is why our entire, allopathic, pharmaceutical, medicine industry, it is absolutely bullshit, because we are nature, and they don't have a single natural product in their entire medicine, among any medicine. So this is why they never heal anything, because the healing is getting back to nature, also our own inner nature. And that is always when we are out of that we seek something unnatural. Oh, I need a drink, I need a cigarette. You want something unnatural to suppress the natural. So these toxins then sit, so to speak, with that emotion in our fatty tissue. This is, for example, also why fasting is so healing. Because when you get into ketosis, you start burning fat instead of sugar. And when you burn that fat, then these emotions will get released and you will be able to feel them. And this is the challenge on a fasting. It's not just eating. It is they're sitting with all your shit and all your... And don't distract yourself with watching movies or anything. Really just feel yourself. This is what healing is. And this is why people heal all kinds of things on fasting. But our established way of pursuing health is doing the opposite. The thing is, our experience gives us a pain. Oh, this is wrong in life. You need to feel this pain in order to heal. So instead of healing, feeling it to healing it, we are taking something unnatural, these toxins, to suppress the message. And this is why we then get addicted to, it can also be all kind of stimulants or cigarettes or whatever. We're using something on the outside, something unnatural. Can even be unnatural, a natural thing, so to speak, like, for example, cannabis or whatever. But it is on another level unnatural in the sense of it is not occurring naturally in our body. So when we are, getting addicted to the outside world, this is when our health will deteriorate. The Danish word for health is helbred. It consists of two words. Hel, means whole. Bred is an old term for moment. So it is all about, how whole are you in this moment. And the more you can allow that, these pains or these invitations of life to feel who you truly are and what you are resisting, the more we will heal in that. So instead of, doing that and going, like healing is always feeling the pain. It is not running away from it. Running away from the pain is suffering. Allowing it is healing. So it is healing or suffering. So this is why we then create this system. Some people have created this system now of resisting pain. It doesn't matter if it pharmaceutical industry, but also all kinds of, political correctness and all kinds of things where we don't want to deal with our interaction with physical reality, so to speak. That is, it doesn't matter if it is someone who is hurt because he called me this and that. It doesn't matter. You need to deal with that pain. As long as no one is harming you physically, but this is so important that we take responsibility, because if not, we don't have the ability to respond, and we give it more and more away. So, yeah, this is an industry and a political state of mind also to keep people from healing, from dealing with that raw, authentic experience. And so we create an entire system is almost always about running from pain. And this is why people, what they seek is almost, relief, like, oh. This is because people are running from the pain all the time. But the pain is the healing. Oftentimes the disillusion or the whatever that lies in feeling that pain, this is how we get out of the illusion. And for example, we have like something like to be disappointed or to be in grief. If we don't, this is life telling us something. In this experience, nothing happens, without that there is, something in that interaction, in that reflection for us, so to speak. To allow, to let go of, or to, something also to do, whatever. But for example, if someone in our family dies and we are in deep grief about that, the grief is the process to get back to allow the experience. We're still holding on to an idea this person should not have died. But the healing for ourselves, this is life, and we need to be let go of it all the time. It doesn't matter what it is. And when we're holding on to something, this is when dis-ease starts to occur. We're getting out of ease and just allowing, letting it flow. So for example, if someone in our family dies, the grief is the process of allowing it. But if we don't go that, for example, suppressing it with alcohol, then we will start getting addicted to the alcohol. So we're using all of a sudden something outside of us to deal with what is going on. And this is why all addictions are getting us into dis-ease, because we are no longer having it, a bit like a lip moisturizer. The more we start getting it from the outside, we become worse and worse, called the law of efficiency, to give it to ourselves. So this is the healing, is the ability to give it to yourself, basically. And it doesn't matter if it is physical things or if it is validation or if it is whatever it is. So I think I was going back to this thing about the system that is holding on to, they want to protect us. They want to, keep us from feeling the pain we need to go through in order to heal. So these, with vaccinations, for example, they're trying to make people more and more unnatural to keep us, away from nature, also our own inner nature. So they are trying to keep us so unnatural so we get away from our intuition. And our intuition and this is where the inspiration comes from, because we're in spirit. And the spirit is connected, you can call to our soul, but the soul is again just our perspective on the dreamer of the dream of God, or however you want to pursue it. And they want to, keep us away from this inspiration. This is also why they have replaced all the, all the people earlier, the artists. They were the people who were the inspired. Look at what you have in the radio now. It is absolutely uninspired. And these people don't make their own music. They don't write their own lyrics. They don't even look like this. And there's no inspiration there. And they need to put these people there because they are people who are having a voice in society. And if everyone who is like most people, at least who are in spirit now, they know that there's something, rotten out here that is getting addressed now. There's some darkness that is coming into the light now, but it is all perfect. It is all for us just to stay in this authentically and vulnerably and just give ourselves to it, because this is a lot of things getting exposed now, a lot of the darkness coming into the light now. So again, we're getting more and more conscious, you can say. So they are trying now, and with fear also, even though the medical community knows how bad fear is for our immune system, but they pump fear into us now because they need to keep us there, because as long as we're in fear, we are, reaching for someone to protect us against whatever pain or whatever realization that may arise in the experience. So even though these people with all kinds of, it's almost like living in an episode of South Park, but everything that's going on right now is just a part of, exposing it, the darkness. So it is really an exciting time to be alive, and painful time also to be really authentic and sober, and coming from that vulnerable place. But this is how we heal the world. So thank you for showing up. See you in another moment.